Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Todd Standing, and I have a show for you today that if you are easily offended, I suggest you stop watching this video now. The famous and infamous, I don't know what you want to call him, Joe Rogan has blatantly started an attack on those of us who either believe Sasquatch is real or know it's real. So specifically upon myself and Survivor Man, he has literally attacked our credibility and is mocking and laughing at us in ways that the late, great John Bennernagel talked about. I literally deal with people who are so traumatized because they've seen a Sasquatch, and they can get complete asses that are ignorant, that will make you think you're crazy, say horrible, insulting things about you when you know what you've seen. The evidence to substantiate this species exists is beyond any reasonable doubt. That's why I tried to take it to court, and I'm going back to court. And if I ever was allowed to go to court, I would devastate them with evidence that's the truth. You have to take my word for it. John Bennernagel talked about it. Jeff Meldrum has significant evidence. The Patterson footage is amazing. I mean, we have DNA now. We have tracks of dermal ridge. I mean, the evidence, you really have to be an ignoramus of infinite proportions to sit there and say there's no possibility that Sasquatch exists. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. You're completely ignorant. And for somebody like Joe Rogan to attack Survivor Man, myself, I suppose I can handle it. I mean, people have their ridiculous, people that live on cement and have never risked anything really. Like, they don't know what it's like to go out in the wilderness like Survivor Man did with me. That man risked his life. Literally, I will show you how he risked his life coming out there, exposing himself. I've literally risked my life on multiple occasions, and you have some ignoramus jerk spouting garbage, mocking you, literally laughing at you, literally spouting racist comments about the white guys that are, I'll just let you watch it. But again, you're going to be offended. I apologize. Remember, I've been out, especially I think the most offended people that I owe this to are the Northern Cree Indians and the Blackfeet Indians that have worked with me. I've worked with several different groups of incredible indigenous trackers, native people that know this species exists. They don't believe it. It's not some spiritual thing. They know it. I mean, I've worked with Apaches. I had an Apache Indian come out and substantiate to him the reality of Sasquatch. And the levels that we're at with the greatest trackers and the greatest wilderness experts in the world that I've dealt with that know Sasquatch is real. People that have been out there and bled for this discovery to know the truth, and have someone sitting on cement and glass mocking and laughing at what Survivor Man did. So today I'm just going to offend you. I'm going to play these Joe Rogan comments, but there'll be a part 2 where I come back and I literally expose the hypocrisy, and based on what I've learned from, especially from native people, I'm gonna try to bury the hatchet. I'm gonna forgive Joe Rogan for what he said and for the atrocious comments that he's made against myself and all the knowers and Survivor men out there. Just mocked us and laughed, like, you know, how it hurts after what we've been through and what we know. I'm gonna ask to bury the peace pipe with him and say this ends it. This is the end of conversation for anybody like Joe Rogan. Shut your mouth, hold back your ignorant comments, come out with me, and I will show you a Sasquatch. Well, who am I to say that? I did it with Survivor Man. I did it with PhDs. It's in my movie. That's what I did last year. That's what I'm doing this year. I take people out and show them the reality of Sasquatch. That's what I do. So if you're easily triggered, maybe don't watch this. I'm going to play this, and then there'll be part 2 where I expose the hypocrisies, the levels of hypocrisy that are going to blow your mind in these statements by Joe Rogan and the people that are on his show. Idiots that believe in Bigfoot. Well, here's part 1, and part 2, I make no apologies for it. Gonna KO these ignoramuses with facts and evidence and truth, and I'm gonna make no apologies for it. So here's Joe Rogan. I'd like to say enjoy, but bear with me, please.
Bigfoot. What about Bigfoot?
I just can't believe people waste their time talking about stuff like that.
Well, for someone like you who actually lives in the wilderness, and you actually live in Alaska, which is one of the places where people supposedly spot Bigfoot.
Yeah. It's because a lot of nutty people go to Alaska. They call them end of the roaders.
Yeah.
You drive until you can't go any further, and then you camp out in the woods for a while and see Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Does Les Stroud really see Bigfoot?
I don't think he's ever seen it.
But he believes it's out there?
His show's sad. It makes me sad. Because he was like a really respected guy doing the survival thing. And, you know, I think it was a really interesting educational show, and it showed people how hard it is. But then he got hooked up with this guy, and he was filming these Bigfoot shows, and the guy was completely full of shit. There's like a fucking, he's wearing a mask, pretending to be Bigfoot in the woods, filming it, high resolution. It looks so fake. You should see show the fake, because it's so dumb. It's so dumb it hurts your feelings. Like, you're like, what? You're doing this?
It's like
But it's real popular. That's the problem. If you have like a Survivor show, you might get X amount of people to watch it. If you have a Bigfoot show, you might get double the number.
what does that tell you about our culture?
Not good. Look at this. This is the video footage. He said this is a close-up, high resolution of Bigfoot. Look at that thing. How fake is that? Look, he's going to zoom in on it. It says Todd standing Bigfoot video as seen in Survivor Man Bigfoot show with Les Stroud.
What's going on? People are really... are the people that are watching this stuff actually believing it, or they just find it entertaining?
There's people,
it's so stupid, it's
food
funny.
Coma, sitting on their couch, sitting in front of the TV, thinking about when they're going to go to bed. Look how dumb that looks, man. Look at this fucking stupid fake Bigfoot face. And they're sitting there going, whoa. They wish it was real. They wish it was real.
Yeah, they wish it was real.
They want it to be real. They want there to be some large primate living by itself in the forest, a small number of them.
Not that
This is 100% of the problem. 100%. It's adopting an idea too soon. That's 100% of the idea. Because once you adopt that idea and then you hang on to it, now you're fucked. Like Bigfoot, man. Bigfoot was a big one for me. I was convinced that
Really?
Bigfoot was real.
What's wrong with you? How long
Stupid.
ago was this?
A couple weeks
Not
ago.
when not when I'd known you.
Yeah, man. When I did this TV show, that's when I totally let it go. I'd kind of let it go before then, but Duncan and I actually went to the Pacific Northwest, and we went to hang out with like real Bigfoot experts that were searching for Bigfoot all the time.
When you say real Bigfoot experts, you mean con artists
No, it's not that.
Dumbasses.
The way I described them is unfuckable white dudes.
who have nothing to do.
They're just a bunch of fellows. We decided to call ourselves a rap band. We're gonna call ourselves UFWD,
Fuck's sakes.
unfuckable white dudes.
And you didn't find anything.
out there in the Pacific
You didn't find
Northwest.
shit.
We found camp spots, a lot of spent shells and beer cans laying around.
You're better than that, Joe.
No, this is what I found out. People want to believe in things. And once you want to believe in something, instead of looking at it objectively and going, well, I'm not sure, you like automatically go towards any information that would point to the fact that the thing is real, not to the whole body of information. Look, well, how crazy are these people? When you meet the people that believe in Bigfoot, the ones that have seen it, the ones that have claimed to have seen it, almost all of them were clearly lying.
And a little like out of it.
There was one
on
lady.
the spectrum.
Maybe. Yeah, but just some people are just liars. They can't help it. They make stories up to make themselves feel better. Like they just crazy. And you can't really say it to their face because you don't really know, but sometimes it just gets ridiculous. And this one lady was one of the only ones that didn't seem like that. This one lady was telling me a story about how she was going through the woods and she saw some big thing that was standing up, and it was like 7 feet tall, and it was moving through the woods. And she saw this thing, and she was like, oh my God, it's an ape. And then she realized it was Bigfoot. And she saw it for a few steps, and then it was gone. At the time, I was fascinated. At the time, I was like, maybe she really did see it. But now I know for a fact, an absolute fact, that where she lived, there's a lot of black bears. And black bears will often walk on their hind legs. They'll walk like Bigfoot. They really do. There's many, 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 many videos. I've seen it with my own two eyes. I saw a bear walk for several steps, like 6, 7, maybe even 10 steps.
On its hind legs.
On its hind legs. Roaring at another bear, and they were going to fight with each other, and they fought with each other standing up. They went after each other.
Dope.
But, dude, he walked towards him like that. Look at that.
That does look like Bigfoot.
Look at that. See that bear? This is a bear that had injured paws. And sometimes they'll get their paw bit off in a fight.
God damn.
They duke it out with each other, or maybe they get caught in a trap. some fucking assholes that set traps out there
So
for
they're
them too.
forced to walk like that.
They bite their own foot off to get out of a trap.
Damn, man.
That's real, man. They get wolves that way. They catch them in traps.
Jesus.
Traps are scary shit,
Hell
man.
yeah.
But these animals, when they get a hurt paw, they'll walk on their back legs like Bigfoot. So she probably saw some shit moving through the woods. Like,
Holy
look at these.
shit.
Yeah. Dude, they just stand there.
That's terrifying.
I know. And they can walk like that.
That's terrifying, but it's clearly not a fucking Bigfoot,
Right.
you morons.
No. See, you say that, but dude, I'm telling you, when you're in the Pacific Northwest, you cannot see 15 yards in front of you. Duncan and I were talking about it because, we had to hang out up there and go wandering through the woods. We're like, if there was something right there, like 5 trees away, and then it moved into the back, how long would it take before it disappeared? 2 steps? 3 steps? It's so dense, dude. It's like a Q-tip box. You get Q-tips out of a box?
Yeah, it's a
There's
nightmare.
There's so many of them. There's no gaps in between these trees. Have you been to the Pacific Northwest? Like the rainforest
No,
up
I've
there?
never been in there. I mean, I obviously drove through it,
It's
going to shows
amazing.
or some shit.
It's amazing. And here's the other thing about it. It's all pine needles, so that you don't even make any noise.
Yeah, but I would see a standing figure like that, in my educated brain, I go, oh, that's a fucking giant bear.
No, because you'd be looking at a hill like 100 yards away, and you would see this thing walk through the trees standing up, and you'd be like, what in the fuck was that? And then it's gone. So then your imagination starts running wild, and your imagination starts filling in the blanks. I don't think it's a coincidence.
Am I
that
high or not?
For sure you're high.
Well, then I'd probably think
You're in
it's Bigfoot.
Seattle, man.
Okay, then
why
it's
would you
Bigfoot.
not be high?
Yeah, I'm big.
You're
then
eating
it's Bigfoot.
mushrooms.
Oh, it's
you're
Bigfoot.
high as fuck.
Oh, I'm on shrooms?
Everybody up there's on shrooms.
Then that's a walking brown unicorn.
You're walking down this road in the forest, and you see something that's in the woods, and you see it briefly 100 yards away for 3 or 4 steps. Your brain starts filling in the blanks, and you get excited. You saw a fucking Bigfoot, and I will go to my grave knowing what I saw that day. And everybody wants to be special. So everybody wants to pretend they saw a giant monkey in the woods. But when you really talk to them, that was the only lady I knew that wasn't lying to me. She saw something.
She actually thought it was Bigfoot, but it was a standing.
If I had a guess, if I had some money to bet, I would bet almost 100% what she saw was a bear.
Now, you did the show, and after coming back from that show, you're like, you know what? Bigfoot's bullshit.
It's the same feeling I got talking to everybody. Psychic readers, same feeling I got talking to UFO experts, same feeling I got to everybody wants to believe. Everybody wants to believe.
See, the UFO I can flex with. The UFO makes sense to me. There's so many kind of
Sure.
X factors there where I can buy a UFO.
It could be real.
It could be real. Bigfoot, come on.
Here's the thing about Bigfoot. The reason why it's so attractive is because it used to be a real animal. 100%. It was a thing called Gigantopithecus.
Bring that shit up,
They
Jimmy.
didn't know about Gigantopithecus until I believe it was the 1920s. They found a tooth of this primate in an apothecary shop in China. And they're like, what the fuck is this?
Someone's selling it?
Yeah, they were selling it. And someone found another tooth. And they said, oh, there's another. And the primatologist who checked it out, that was a real animal.
God.
Yeah.
Dog.
8 foot tall, gigantic orangutan looking thing.
It still doesn't look like a human,
It was in the orangutan family. No, dude. It doesn't. Well, Bigfoot's supposed to look like that. That's
Oh,
what it's
really?
supposed to look like. Yeah, it's not supposed to look like a human.
Well, I thought it was
But
like a hairy human combo.
There's a photo of a man standing next to a proportionate man, the average sized man, standing next to a Gigantopithecus statue. See if you can find that in there. I know it's in there.
Piccathis.
Yeah, that's it. That was how big it was. So that was a real animal, 100%. Now, they're not 100% sure that it walked on 2 legs, but they're pretty sure. And the reason why is the shape of the teeth. That animals that walk on their hind legs, animals that walk upright, have a different shape to their jaw. So that's what they found.
That looks like
They
our
found a
jaw.
jawbone, and they found some teeth, and they found it like all in the same site. And then they realized that they're dealing with a totally different animal.
And he was around how long ago?
10,000 years ago. So this thing existed somewhere in the neighborhood of, I think that's right. Wait a minute, that might be wrong. I think I'm thinking of the Flores man, was the Hobbit man, the little 3 foot tall dude.
Sure.
That
Like
dude
off
was like
Lord of the
10,
Rings?
14,000 years ago. That was really soon.
Yeah.
Like really recently. Definitely lived alongside people.
Not that
This might be 100,000. What makes it attractive, though, is where that thing lived is exactly where all the animals came across the Bering Land Bridge that connected Asia to North America. So this Bering Land Bridge was where they think everything came across. Short-faced
Christ.
bears, even people.
I apologize. I'm sure that was very painful for many of you, like it was very painful for me. but we make peace with our enemies. I don't want to call him an enemy. I've loved Joe Rogan and his comedy, and I'm a big UFC fan, and I'm going to be forgiving of that blatant ignorance. So and you will be too when you see my comeback of, you know, what I'm going to show you, how it's preposterous and ridiculous. So let's take it step by step. Thank you for tuning in. Obviously, you want to come back for Thursday's show, because I'm going to tear this whole argument apart with facts and truth and positivity. And at the end of the day, again, what do I say? Don't take my word for it. Come out with me and I will show you a Sasquatch. The great Survivor Man showed up, the great Jeff Meldrum, the great John Bitternagel, and I have dozens of people that come out with me every year that take me up on that challenge. I dare Joe Rogan to take me up on that challenge, because we'll straighten him back up. We'll show him what the truth is. The truth is going to come out no matter what. So thank you for tuning in. Take care of yourself.